Hey everybody, welcome to the second official episode of Cassette Cult, which is this time on a Friday. I'm dressed up like a wool person because it's fucking cold outside, but it's pretty hot in here because we got cassettes to listen to. Quick reminder that we are currently trying to bring back Lock Horns, so please head on over to our Patreon and help make it happen. The first band that we're going to talk about is Devil's Force. They are a one-man black thrash band who is helmed by Pierre Tornqvist, and he hails from Luleå, Sweden. He formed the band in 2017 and has already released a bunch of demos and singles, and this cassette. And play! You heard the man, fire! That's really fun. I mean, this isn't a groundbreaking release, but it's great. It's black thrash. Reminds me a lot, actually, of Canada's own Black Rats. You know, record show and tell. We're comparing all of the bands to the other bands to encourage you guys to spend your hard-earned dollars on music. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So that was Devil's Force from Sweden, and you can pick up a lot of their different songs on Bandcamp. Next up is a release that I'm actually really excited about and that I pre-ordered, and then they ended up sending me a copy, which is dope. And that is the cassette by the Black Thrash Death Metalers, Reversed. They hail from Vancouver, and this cassette is released by the Tastemakers over at Temple of Mystery Records. If you're not familiar with Temple of Mystery, then you haven't been watching my reviews. It's helmed by Anik Giroux. She's the one who wrote this Hellbent for Cooking cookbook, and they also did the cassette version of Droid. They're a Toronto/Ontario techie thrash band that sound a lot like Voivod, and they are fucking killer. And Reversed is killer as well. The cassette has already sold out, and it is just malevolent. Let's hope we get it in a really ugly moment. Yeah, you know how I said malevolent, swirling, fucking heavy, black, death, thrash? This cassette has it all. And it's also really nicely laid out, which again, that's Anik. She's a great graphic designer. She works on tons of bands doing that kind of stuff for them. And this little release it's fucking great. I really enjoy it, and I'm really strongly encouraging people, if you can find a copy, it might be tough, but you can buy it digitally, again, on Bandcamp. So head on over there and check it out. The next band that I'm going to talk about is one that is not a submission, but is probably one of my favorite random band finds of the last decade. I'd say it's in my top 10 of that. That band is Australia's own CRONE. They are a doom metal band, and they're fronted by this woman who is the vocalist and the bassist. Her name's Amanda, and they sound like Reverend Bizarre. So, of course, I fucking love it. And it took me a while to actually find this cassette because it sold out when it was originally made in 2013. And I ended up having to buy it on Discogs, and I also bought it on Bandcamp because if you love a band, you should throw as much money their way as you can, because then maybe they'll come back. Haven't even pre-selected somewhere to put this music at because all of it's so good that I think you'll just like it wherever it is. Every time I listen to that, I get the shivers. I really think that this band is like the second coming of Reverend Bizarre. I know in my Finished Doom metal video, I talked about Wandering Midget being also the second coming of Reverend Bizarre. There's very few bands that manage to capture that like monstrous, heavy, big sound. They're no longer together, I don't think. They haven't done anything other than this cassette, but I really wish they would because this thing is magical. The final band that we were gonna talk about is Cult. This is essentially a supergroup made up of dudes who have been in numerous of Alberta in particular's most important death grind bands. Their vocalist Shane Hocko alone has sung in bands like Thorzine, very important death grind band from Calgary, Alberta. He's also sung in Disciples of Power, very important tech death band from Edmonton. This band is fucking killer. He's been in a lot of projects, and that's just the vocalist alone. I mean, if you go to their Facebook page and you look at all of the bands these dudes have been in, you've essentially gotten a large chunk of Alberta's death grind tech scene, which is pretty fucking cool. So this band is called Culled, and the album is called Thin the Herd, Fail to Learn, and it actually just recently came out on October 26th. Ooh, also a handy download code.
Historical amnesia is a dangerous phenomenon, not only because it undermines moral and intellectual integrity, but also because it lays the groundwork for crimes that still lie ahead.
So you got a bit of a feel of the more sludgy side, and we're gonna listen to something a bit heavier on this cassette. So there you have it. And the thing is that I've known Shane Hocko, the vocalist of this band, for a long time. He's a buddy of mine, a colleague, and he actually gave me a bunch of really sick Iron Maiden cut to shape 7 inches. And when he messaged me asking me if I wanted to talk about Called on the show, I instantly said yes because I knew that this band would be good. And he actually sent over a couple extra copies of the cassette. And there's 2 extras as well as a couple patches. And I kind of thought that the best thing to do with this is to do a giveaway. So, with that in mind, what I'm suggesting is that if you message me on Instagram, it's Last Vinyl Before Doomsday, you can see the little tag in the video, I want you to send me a screenshot of your Bandcamp collection or of your physical objects collection showing that you have bought something that I have featured on Cassette Cult, and I will send you a copy of the cassette by Cult as well as one of their patches for free, just as a thank you. It only applies to the first 2 people, obviously. But yeah, send me some pictures. We wanted to give a massive shout out to everyone who's watching, everyone who donates on Patreon, all of the artists who, you know, have been sending stuff into us, who have been giving us shout outs, who have been sharing our reviews, all of the fans who comment, everything. It's been a big learning curve year for Banger, and this has been really exciting for all of us to be able to be supported by the metal community, and we really appreciate that. And that is the reason why I'm getting a little teary, a little worked up, because it's really exciting working for Banger, and we really appreciate everything that you motherfuckers are doing for us. So thank you. Now, before I go, got a whole shitload of shout outs because there's tons of stuff coming out, and we do not have the men and women power to review it all. So this week, the new releases are as follows. We have a new album by WALD KRYPTA. The album is called Nature Enigma. That's a black metal album that's coming out via cassette on Eternal Death. Send one my way, my dudes. There's a new album by Azusa called Heavy Yoke. New album by Evangelist called Matricide and the Temple of Omega. We've got a new Sigh album called Heir to Despair. We've got a new Nita Strauss record called Controlled Chaos. There's a new album by Warkings called Reborn. And then finally, there is a new album by the band Esben and the Witch, and the album is called Nowhere. As for me, I'm going to be dressing up in my warmest wool and waiting for Christmas, which is when I get all of the best records from my honey bunny, and get more layers of wool so I can survive the cold Canadian winter. I hope you can do the same wherever you're living.